All right, guys. So as people are coming on, I'm really, really excited. This is an opportunity. This is our live spring slim down coachathon. So this is the first time that I've ever offered anything like this. And it's something that I'm really excited about. We kind of did this. This is one of those things I got inspired to do last minute. So normally we would promote something like this more and share it more. I was really excited though, however, just even in posting it in our Done with Dieting group, I just said who here would be open to getting coached live, and the responses were, I received so many private messages. I am just going to make sure everyone else is muted. Okay, great. So, all right. Anybody that is wanting to great, Edwina, you see me. I love that. Kimberly, I'm so excited for you to be here as well. I'm so excited to be with you. Val, great. Judith, Dawn, awesome. Lisa, thank you guys. All right, so here's the thing. This coachathon is for you. That's really, really what this is about. This is your opportunity to get live coaching. This is your opportunity to ask me anything. And this is also your opportunity, hi Joy, to get to know one another and to see the powers of coaching. Hey girl, what's up? Who is this, Linda? What's up girl? I'm gonna be with you in New York soon. Jana, I know it's cold in Maine. Guys, I feel bad for everybody on the East Coast. I truly do. I know I'm in California, but even here, it's been really cool in San Diego. I'm in a sweater, for instance. So this isn't typical either, and I just want you guys to know that. So here's how this is gonna go. This is a live coachathon. Why did I put this together? What was the reasoning? Debbie says it's cold here in Minnesota. Yeah, right, guys? Like it's like we're all ready for summer, right? We're ready for the warm weather. We're ready to get outside more and not be shut-ins, right? So here's the thing that I really wanted to do, and I'd love to know from you. I know that as a dieter, a big thing that would come along was, summertime, and there would always be this kind of rush for this desire to get this weight off like yesterday. And it would be one of those things where you'd feel like you had all this time and you would have committed in the new year. Tell me if any of this is like hitting home. You commit in the new year and you're like, I'm going to do this. I'm doing it. And then all of a sudden it's March and it's April and you're kind of like, what happened? And now I'm destined. It almost feels like it's like, oh, I'm here again. How did I get here again? Where you're still struggling with the weight, you're still struggling to reach your goals. Yeah, as Kimberly said, you're nowhere closer to your goals. And Jenna's saying yes. And so what I really wanted to do is show you, one, you can get real results and see a change. It doesn't have to be hard. The primary things that happen are you're jumping from one thing to the next without staying committed to what works. And you might think what you've done in the past has worked when you think about a diet, right? I get on the phone with people and they go, no, so I lost weight before and it worked. It worked. I did Weight Watchers and it worked. And I was like, well, as somebody myself who knows the point system inside and out and did Weight Watchers, I'll be the first person to say it didn't work. Because if it works, I would have just lost the weight and that would have been that. Instead, I had to go back to Weight Watchers and back to Weight Watchers. And then I tried another diet and another diet. So diets are Band-Aids. So who here is really ready to be in that space of being done with dieting? Really ready to see change? Because that's what I'm committed to showing you today. Good. Yes. Debbie saying me. Jana saying absolutely. Val saying me. Great. Linda's so done. And girl, you're doing so good, man. Dawn, yes, right? So in order to do this, Judith, okay, right? Perfect. So in order to do this, we have to get really clear. You know, when we talk about spring cleaning, we got to get clear of the crap. We have to start clearing out. And the women, Kathy says, yes. Connie says, all done. The women in my Weight Loss for Life program, like we just started doing this, really talking about what isn't working and starting to shed the limiting beliefs and all of that stuff that's really holding us back. Because what we don't realize is we have a lot of stories that are constantly getting in the way, and that's what's tripping you up from staying consistent and committed to what's working. Because when you are allowing these stories to come in, you can be doing something that's working. You go, oh, okay, this is working, but it's not working fast enough. Okay, I need to pivot over here. Not helpful, right? So we want to really stay on track with what's working. Lisa, just a bit slower with the technology. I don't know. Are you guys talking about me with the technology? If at any time something happens, let me know, because my team, Heather wasn't able to be on here today because it was so last minute. But if this goes well, I definitely want to do another one. So if there's any delays with me in terms of technology, let me know. If you have questions, okay, got it. All right, just a bit slower with the technology. No, just learning how to answer you. Got it. Okay. Yeah, so you just chat in. Any questions that you have that come up today is an open forum, okay? You can ask me anything. It can be anything that's going on with you. What I really want you to get is your struggles with weight do not just have to do with you and food. They do not. And they don't just have to do with you and fitness. It is anything you are using food to detract from moving forward in your life. So I will say things that are a bit blunt and hitting home in a harder way. I get that. And you might be like, ooh, ouch. I wasn't expecting that. And I'd rather you not love me, you know, and be like, all right, I don't really like Melissa today, but I heard something that really is sticking with me, especially going into the weekend, because the weekend is your time to stop taking care of you. And I'm not just saying you like pointing the finger. It's honestly, it's like 90% of people. I mean, generally they're great in their routine Monday through Friday. But when it comes to food, all of a sudden it's a free-for-all. And the weekend, it's like, hey, I don't know. Guys, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's a part of the 7-day week. If you're committed to a lifestyle, your lifestyle becomes who you are. You're not just a fit person Monday through Friday. You know, you wake up on Saturday and you're like, hey, and you grab your dogs or you grab your kids or you grab your partner or you meet your girlfriends and say like, let's go to yoga, let's go do this, because it's a part of you. You know, you don't no longer feel good just lounging around all the time or skipping your workouts. I'm not saying I don't love love lounging and Netflixing, and I love that Netflix has become a full-on verb. Has anybody noticed this? It's like, oh yeah, I just, Netflix last night. I'm like, and I started noticing I was using it too. And I'm like, when did this become a verb? Like, when you think of it, this is a total random tangent that I'm going on right now, but I'm just going to bring you guys there with me because it's Friday and why not? Do you notice when you're thinking about like business names or like anything else, you're like, well, that's a weird name to name something, but then it becomes such a, like something that you use, like Netflix has become a verb. This is where my mind's going today. I'm going to reel it back in for your sake, or else we could be here for the next 4 hours. Okay. So I love lounging, and there's a time and a place, but my point is when you get to that point in your body where it enjoys movement, because you're animals by nature, you want to move. You really, really do. Your body doesn't want to be sedentary. Even my clients that come to me and go, you will not get me to move my body, right? You will not get me to work out. And I just go, okay. And I kind of smirk behind the computer, whatever we're talking on that day. And it's because generally they end up finding that they do like to move their bodies. And then usually my clients from my group programs to my private clients that come to me and tell me they don't like to move their bodies are the ones that end up being like marathon runners, and they all of a sudden decide that they want to be a group fitness instructor, and they're dancing again, and like they end up being the ones that like are still sending me messages years later. Like I just got a pic of one of my clients, Leah, who, you know, is now like a marathon runner, and she's like teaching group fitness down in New Orleans. And this woman was like, "You will never get me to move. I hate it." And I was like, okay, this is fascinating. So what I wanted to say is any questions that you have, post them here. I do have some women that wanted the live coaching spots, so I'm going to be bringing them on. Why that's beneficial for you is you are going to get to see firsthand, one, what it is to be coached. And two, you're going to learn from them because their struggles are your struggles. I promise you. This is why in any of my group programs in Weight Loss for Life, I always say, post your questions because nothing is ever silly. And if you have it, somebody else does. And every woman is benefiting because we're all each other, right? We're all one. Why do you think I can always go, you hear something I say and you're like, she gets me, because I've been you, right? Just like I know where you're at right now, you know where I've been. Get it? So we're all in this together. We're a sisterhood. That's why I love this Done with Dieting group. Okay. So, and I really want you guys to use this. And those of you that are wanting to be a part of Weight Loss for Life, you guys, it's closing in a few weeks. So hurry up and get your applications in. And you still have that opportunity. So, you know, honestly, I'd move on it because I only run this live one time. And I don't know if I'll be doing that again. So if you want this opportunity, now is your chance, and you can do a lot. True transformation happens, but you have to commit first and take that first step, and then I will hold you to that, and the women know that. So, okay, I'm seeing your questions here. Any other questions that you have, post. As you know, I am Melissa Catherine. I'm your host of today's Spring Slim Down Coach-a-thon. We're going to go into more details about that. And tips to help you to slim down in spring to bring you into summer. I'll be doing that throughout this coach-a-thon. I'll also be helping each and every one of you in this process. I am a holistic nutritionist. I am fully certified. That is my background. I specialize in emotional eating, having had that be my primary struggle, along with disordered eating and body dysmorphia. But I actually specialize in this and food and psychology. And my true skill set really comes not only in that and getting women off of dieting and healing their relationship with food so that they're fully free to not only lose the weight and love themselves and maintain that weight loss for life, but truly, really to know what it's like to be free, to be on the other side, for food to no longer have a hold over you, and to master your mindset, to not only master your mindset around your body and your weight, but in life, to start to see life always from the glass being half full and from being positive and loving you. You know, it's fascinating. I was listening to an interview with Oprah, and she was talking about Maya Angelou, who is one of my favorite women and poets of all time. And Oprah called her and just said, you know, oh my God, you won't believe what happened, you know, blah, 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 and was kind of, you know, complaining and going on. And this is what I love, and this is really what I teach. And it's one of the most powerful ways to live your life. And Maya Angelou came back to her and simply said, I'm not going to get this at all in the beautiful, eloquent way that Maya Angelou would say something. But it was in the essence of, you know, Oprah, like, this is a beautiful blessing. So stop complaining and thank God that this is happening. And Oprah came back and was like, what are you talking about? Like, this is an awful, awful thing. And Maya Angelou's response was, you know, in every hurdle in life, there is a rainbow waiting for you. And it's like a pot of gold. You're getting a sign of a pot of gold that's coming your way. And thank God for that, you know, because it's only those that can deal with life's challenges that are given life's challenges. Why I wanted to share that with you today, and I just got goosebumps all over. I'm like, because I know my guides are with me, and God is always with me. And I share that with you guys. And again, I'm not one to push religion on people at all. I do believe in faith. And I share that because I really want you guys to get that everything that's happening in your life, everything around your weight and everything around food, it is not your struggle. It is actually going to be your greatest gift, as it's been mine. And I want you to start to see that all that you've gone through and everything that brought you here with me today is only going to be what brings you to the most beautiful life that you ever imagined. In fact, it's not even going to be something that you've imagined, because it's going to be that beautiful and that powerful. And it's in the recognition of that and looking at it and going, let me look at this and see if I start to shift and see this as a blessing. And I start to see that the woman that I am today is so aware of who I am and is so aware. And even though it can feel painful that I know how I'm getting in my own way right now, I am that connected. And the only thing that's really happened here is that I've disconnected from the universe and something greater than me. I've actually become in a place where I believe that I am in charge of my life, where I believe that I'm responsible for my life. And if I believe that I'm responsible for my life, then what that means is, and I know you've heard me talk about like co-creation, so let me clarify. When we think that we're solely responsible for our lives and our weight, we take the weight of the world on our shoulders. And we start to feel and act and be the victim of our circumstance, instead of turning it over, being connected to the universe at hand, the divine, whatever you want to call it. The universe to me is God. The universe to me, nature is God. I see everything as God. God to me is universe, source, power, infinite energy, love, light, divinity. Okay, that's my view. It doesn't need to be yours. I see the ocean and I see God giving me this gift, right? Now, if God's like totally getting you, just be like, whatever, interpret it in your mind however you want it to be. But my point is, I want you to be open to that connection that's guiding you, because when we diet, and I did this because I turned my back. I actually was called on by God when I was very little, because I was always very, very intuitive. My mom, it freaked her out. I would like know things and she'd be like, how did you know that? What's blah, blah, blah. And you know, I was really, really connected, and I would always just know things from a clairsentient standpoint. I'm clairaudient and clairvoyant. So I see, hear, and just know things. I know things more than anything. Many of you that have talked to me have known that. I'm able to, I just know things, you know, like it's just, I'll get downloads, and I oftentimes it surprised the hell out of myself, to be honest, because sometimes I'm like, those words weren't even mine, and yet they came out of my mouth. So it's a beautiful gift. And if that freaks anybody out, I'm sorry. I just wanted to share, I'm not sorry, but I wanted to share that. But where this is coming from is, I really want you to get in the spirit of today, and what we're doing here is really understanding that you are connected. You are connected to something greater. And when you start to recognize that, then you don't feel so alone in dieting, right? Because it takes you out of this separation from something else, because what you've actually done through dieting even if you're a very faith-based person, is you start to go, I'm taking control. My issues with my weight, it's all my fault. My relationship with food, I have to figure this out. I have to figure this out. Do you feel how heavy that is? No, you don't, love. You don't. And I'm here to tell you that firsthand. Any of the women that signed up for Weight Loss for Life are like, I felt a weight lifted signing up for this program because I'm not going at it alone anymore. Do you see what I'm saying? And it's not just about that program. I'm just talking about just in life. I want you to recognize that you are supported. And that is a message that I really, really want you to hear today. So powerful, and it's needed, because you gotta get out of that space that you have to figure it out, that you're broken, and that this needs to be really hard. Allow the ease. And we allow the ease by inviting in support. And that's really why I believe I'm here with you today. This was such a last minute thing that I threw together, and it was a calling. It was something that I felt compelled to do. And anytime I feel compelled to do something like that, there's a reason. And it drove my team nuts, because they were like, really, are you throwing this on us last minute? Like, we just did 3 webinars back to back. And I was like, yes, we are. So, you know, I just want you to know that. And I really, really want you to get that. So that's, you know, more of what we're going to be going into today. So, so I'm just going back. This is an awesome gift. Thank you, Janet. Yes, it is. I feel very, 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 very blessed. And you guys all have this opportunity as well. You know, being intuitive, ladies, that is harnessing your intuition. It's one of the most powerful gifts that you have. If you've noticed, you all have it, and you're being guided to things, and you know when you ignore your own intuition because it bites you in your ass. Well, your intuition's always guiding you on the easiest path. Why do you think I work with you and constantly say, I want you to be connected to your intuition? Intuition is your body. Your body, the very thing that you've been disconnected from. Yeah, is there like okay, there was just like a random net. Your body is your intuition. It's giving you guidance. It's giving you counsel. It's constantly telling you what to do. You are always saying, like, how can I just get this weight off? And your body's like, put the fork down. Stop eating. You know, like, food will fall out of your hands and you still keep eating. There's a reason why food's falling out of your hands. It is your guides coming in to support you in exactly what you're asking for. Really hear this. So you're always being guided. You are always being supported. You're always being given answers. It's just you're not listening because you're not connecting, because you're in do mode. And when we're in do mode, we don't want to stop, because if we stop, things might fall apart, and I might feel too much. And if I feel too much, I'm afraid that I'm going to crack, and I don't have time to crack right now because I've got so much to do, because I'm so busy. I'm so busy. I've got so much to do, and I've got my kids to take care of, and I've got this, and I've got work, and I'm already late, and I don't even know, when am I going to do all of that? Where's the food? You're not even giving your body time to register. Am I even hungry? Do I really need another cup of coffee? I don't even know what I just ate. Did I just eat a whole meal? I didn't even register because I'm on to the next thing. It's that energy. And then you're wondering why you're exhausted at the end of the day, want to put your feet up and need some instant gratification and some love back. And you're reaching for food or chocolate chips or, chips in general, or popcorn, or just bread or pasta or whatever it is. But it's from a depletion. It's from you've allowed yourself no rest. And much of it comes from this. I need to be so tightly wound. And this is why, the anxiety in your body, many of you, I get on the phone and I'm like, I need you to breathe. I need you to drop your shoulders, which is actually something that I really love for us to do right now. So before we go into our coaching, everybody come together. And on this Friday, okay, On this Friday, I just want you guys to come and let's close our eyes and let's get in and connect a minute or few. And why we close our eyes, by the way, is so that we can actually connect in and be in our bodies as opposed to being outside of our bodies, right? So when you're out here, it's all over the place. So let's bring it in. Yes, Connie, all the massage therapists could say was breathe and release. Yep. So perfect. So here's just a simple thing that I want you guys to do. Let's start this off together and let's bring it in. And if it's okay with everybody, I'm also going to bring in a little prayer and a little meditation. You're going to come in, feet flat on the floor, eyes closed, relaxing and releasing and letting go. Dropping your shoulders from your ears. So I want you guys to see this, okay? Now, thank God we're in a group because Facebook bans now if you're in like a tank top or something. I'm like, I don't know if you guys ever saw the Facebook Live where I came out, getting out of the shower and I had the towel over here because I got in late. Like I was locked out of my home and I had a Facebook Live that was coming up and I just came with like wet hair, no makeup and a towel on. It looked like I was naked. My brothers were like, Mel, are you naked on Facebook? And I was like, you have to stop now. But it almost got like banned. Okay. So see how my shoulders are down? You guys are like this. Notice we want them down. Okay. So let me just put my hair back for you. So I want you guys to open your eyes for a moment. So we're going to do these little ribbons. Okay. So notice shoulders are down. Okay. So if you're up here, we want you to go down here. So drop your shoulders down and just closing your eyes. And I just want you to roll your shoulders back and down. Just slowly roll them back and down. And now you're going to drop your head to one side. And you're going to feel a strain on your neck, eyes closed. Just feel that pull. And allow your head to go as far over, keeping your body centered and still. Now roll your head back. And let your head drop back low. Feel the pull on the front of your neck, but mainly down, you'll notice it down the back of your neck and across your shoulder blades. Just let it hang. And then heading, ooh, I got a little crack. Heading over to the right or the left, depending on where you started. Again, feeling this pull. Feet flat on the floor. Inhale in through the nose. Belly breath. In and just hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale out through your mouth. 3, 2, 1. Roll your head forward slowly and drop it down. Again, feeling that release on the back of the spine, going down the neck. And dropping that forward. Just feeling that nice pull, even moving your head from side to side. And now bringing your head up, eyes closed. Inhale in a very deep breath. You're going to inhale in, and I want you to imagine white healing light coming into the body. In through the nose. Inhale and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale out through the mouth. Exhaling out everything that doesn't serve you, any worries, any doubts, any stress from today. Really emptying out your belly so there's no air left. Take another deep inhale in for me. Belly breath, filling up that air, chest and lungs. And holding that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale out through the mouth, everything that doesn't serve you, relaxing and releasing and letting go. Now on this inhale, I want you to set a clear intention for what you want to experience this weekend. Some examples could be simply to have a beautiful, stress-free weekend, to be connected to your body and feel proud of your choices all weekend long, to feel light and energized, to love you deeply and endlessly all weekend long, to feel re-energized and rejuvenated come Monday. What do you want to experience this weekend, and what do you want to experience today? No matter what's happened for you this morning, what's happened to you in the past, it's time to let it go. All we have control over is this present moment. And we can set the stage for the future that we desire with this intention. And set that intention now as we inhale in this white healing light, seeing our intention and feeling it, repeating it to ourselves. Inhale in. And holding that. 5, 4, 3, letting that vision penetrate the mind and letting the white light penetrate and fill up the body. 2 and 1. Exhale out everything that doesn't serve you. At this time, with our eyes still closed, we call on all those of love and light to surround us and be present with us here in today's coaching, that these women hear everything that they need to hear, that they take with them the words that speak to them the most and they leave those that don't, that they are brought to breakthroughs and ahas and action steps that are needed to bring them to their highest good, their happiest selves, and to their whole selves, their true selves. Releasing and letting go of any weight and anything that does not serve them. Allowing your guidance to shine through. Amen. And coming back and opening our eyes. All right. So we are going to start off today. Anybody, like I said, any questions, I'll scroll back through. If you have any other questions that you want to post, please post them now. And Kimberly, girl, I'm going to bring you on. I'm going to make you a co-host here. Wait. All right, hold on 1 second. All right. Kimberly, are you on? Hold on 1 second, love.
Okay.
Let me see. Is your video on?
Yeah, it's on.
Why is it showing?
Every time I click, can you hear me?
Yes.
Every time I click on it, it says you cannot start your video because the host has stopped it.
So weird. Okay. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to make you. Yes, there we go.
Yay!
Yay, girl. All right. I'm like, we did it. I know. I'm like, seriously. I'm like, awesome. What's going on, girl?
I'm just excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you here. So what we're going to do is, everybody, this is Kimberly. She is awesome and reached out, and you were like the first to reach out for this coaching spot. And I was just like, okay, the first 2 that reach out are getting it. So we had so many people like that. I'm like, I think I need to do another one. So what I'm going to do today is, I know you know all about me and my background, so I don't need to go through that again. But what I'm going to do is ask you a series of questions and to support you in what you came here for, and anybody else that, and just so the other women know, you know, kind of what's going on. Well, I know you sent me a message, but we'll go through that. So what I would really love to know is, what caused you to, I mean, you reached out within like milliseconds. So
which is funny because I wrote a lot.
no, it was amazing. It was great. And so tell me, what was it that prompted you to reach out?
Well, I've been struggling with this, with just being in the dieter prison that you call it, since I was 10. I feel like there were times where I felt like I had food freedom and I didn't even care. I didn't even notice. But looking back on it, I've been having this since the last couple of years. It shouldn't be this hard. It's just been harder and harder and harder.
Yeah.
And it's taken over different aspects of my life. I just am not as joyful. And it's just consuming me. And I'm done with worrying about it. I'm done beating myself up about it. I'm done feeling really good when I lose weight and then just hating myself as I continue to kind of gain it back slowly but surely. And I just want life to be simple again. And I just want to enjoy it because I have a good life. I've got a great life. I just struggle with this in particular.
Yeah. So tell me, what is the primary thing? So I get this has been like a big struggle for you. So what would it look like for you if you were done? What is that for you?
I think I would be able to enjoy food without overeating or being guilty over what I've eaten. And because I've been stuck restricting myself so long, when I do get to eat, I do tend to overeat. And I have in the last couple of years started to binge eat and then get super restrictive again. So I would like to I have this just food freedom. I just want freedom to be able to go to lunch with my kiddos and eat food with them without being like, well, I can't eat today because, or I can't eat anything right now, or I'm fasting or whatever it is. I just want to be able to enjoy my family when we go out and about. Doesn't mean I have to get something sweet every time we go out, but if I want to, I want to be able to do it without feeling guilt and without running back into that cycle of time to restrict, time to, punish myself with extreme workouts and just the negative self-talk. That's another really big thing for me, is I've realized after listening to some of the things you've said, how much my inner self dialogue is so destructive. It's negative and it steals my joy. And I want to learn how to love myself again.
Yeah. What have you, thank you for sharing all of that. Can you tell me what programs have you tried?
The most recent one I tried was Medifast, and I did lose a lot of weight on it, but as soon as I ate again, it started coming back. And even regular normal eating, which then made me upset. And I'm like, why bother? And then I go back into overeating, and that whole cycle again. And then before that, I had taken prescription diet pills. And honestly, being 100% honest here, probably the only reason why I'm not doing them right now is because it got really expensive. And I know it's not good for my health, but even that didn't stop me from going back and getting more, because they worked as long as I was on them. But it felt like I had to stay on them my whole life, which I know in my heart that is not what I should be doing. I just felt like it was the answer because it did the quick fix.
Well, and it gave you it gave you that control.
Yeah.
So, how old are you?
36.
And how much weight do you want to lose? What is your current weight?
I've been having some health issues recently, and so I had to do this strict protocol, and I lost 10 pounds. So it was good, but I still have another 10 to go.
Okay. So you want to lose about 10 pounds?
Yeah.
Okay. And so how long have you been struggling with this 10, 20 pounds?
Well, I've had 3 kids in 4 years. And so I've been on the weight gain, weight loss roller coaster for that time. But then, so I guess my youngest is 4. So really, it's been on and off. But really, since my youngest, after I lost the weight of my youngest, I gained it back again and then tried to lose it. So it's been um, for 4 years at least.
Okay.
But I did that all throughout the pregnancies. And even before that, there was a few years before I got pregnant that I was doing that. Got to lose just 5-10 pounds, just 5-10 pounds over.
Okay. So let's go back here. You mentioned that, you know, this is something that really started for you at age 10. So what would your life look like without this struggle?
I feel like I would be more confident.
Yeah.
I feel like there's been a lot of things that, sorry, I don't mean to get emotional.
Trust me, I'm like, it's totally, this is a perfectly safe space.
You know, like just things that I missed out on in childhood because I was overweight, and rejection for certain things. And so part of me is I really don't want the cycle to continue for my daughter. I want to be a strong, confident woman so that she can learn how to be that for herself. But I feel like I would be more confident. I'd be less stressed, you know, just in life, just without all those negative things going on in my brain about what I'm not doing well. Yeah. As far as my weight and exercise and everything. And I would have more peace, and I would have more quiet and more joy with my family and friends. And I see it as more joyful, just joy, instead of the stress and the frustration. And yeah.
So what is your life going to look like if you stay the same? If this is what you experience and you never overcome this?
Just more, but more desperate, more of what I've been feeling, but I feel like it would just turn to more desperation, more hatred of myself, more, I'd probably give up at some point. I feel like there have been times where I've just wanted to throw my hands up in the air and say, whatever, I don't care. I'm just going to try to be happy. I'm just going to try to be happy, even if I'm gaining 10 pounds, whatever. I'm just going to power through, muster through. And I feel like it would just get worse.
Has that worked for you before?
No, it hasn't.
Okay. What happens when you just try to let go?
I don't think I've really tried that.
Yeah, when you said that, I was like, I don't get that that's something she's actually tried. It's kind of like at some point I might get that desperate that I'll go there.
Yeah, but I never let myself do it because I just beat myself up enough to where it's like, no, I'm not happy here either. And so it's a continuum of unhappiness. Just where on the line am I not happy?
Yeah. So, Kimberly, was there a time when you actually were happy with your body and felt okay and good around food?
Yeah. College, I feel like food was the last thing on my mind. I was having fun, going to school, learning, working. I met my husband. I don't know. There was at least a good 4 years where I didn't care about food. I mean, I just remember thinking, what did I do to eat back then? I don't even remember planning meals. I don't remember doing anything other than just like eating, I guess, when I needed to. So,
were you happy then?
I felt happy, yes. Yeah.
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 And what happened after college?
Well, I got into kind of a a bad relationship. We just were not meant to be together, but we had been friends. It was really hard to break it off. And I started working at a bar. So I was in an unhealthy environment. I was drinking too much. I gained a bunch of weight. I knew I was in a bad relationship and I just was depressed, wasn't really doing anything. And I think that's probably when it all started again. I think that's where it all started. As a child, I didn't know. I mean, I knew I was overweight. I didn't know how to change it. I just ate the food my dad gave me, you know? And then once I lost the weight just from exercising in high school, in my senior year, I didn't even have to worry about food because my body was like, oh, you're exercising now. So it just dropped off. But then once I started getting depressed again and I gained a bunch of weight, that's when this whole.
Okay. So, I'm just going to keep asking some questions to get us, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. All right. So, let's talk about when you were 10 and that first instance that happened for you. What you brought up that memory and you even put that in your Facebook message to me. What happened at age 10?
Well, I guess to back up just a little bit, my parents got a divorce when I was 7. And my sister and I ended up living with my dad. And my mom and my dad, we all lived in the same state. And so we'd see her often. But then an opportunity for my dad came up to move to Alaska from Washington for this dream job. And it meant getting out of, apartments and actually having a home with land and an adventure. So we moved out here and I was skin and bones. Everybody, I had mentioned everybody used to tell me I needed to put weight on. And anyway, so then we lived in a hotel for 3 months until we were able to find a house to move into. And so my dad, who doesn't gain weight for anything, his metabolism is amazing. We would have donuts for breakfast. That was the continental breakfast. And then I'd have school lunch and then we'd eat out at a fast food restaurant every night. And I was also dealing with the fact that I had moved away from my mom, which was really hard on me. She and I have just always been very close. And so I was dealing with all, being the new kid at school anyway, but I gained weight in that 3 months like no other. I gained a ton of weight. So.
Okay. And so right now, when you go and you start losing weight, in what ways do you sabotage yourself?
I tend to, when I reach a goal, I think it has to do with the scale, which I know you are a proponent of putting it away, and I'm going towards that, agreeing with that, because it's funny, it's tricky. Sometimes when I check the scale and my weight looks good, I think, oh, great, I'm doing so good. And then that pressure that I've put on myself has released a little bit. I don't hate myself as much because I've been able to lose that weight. So then I might let myself slide a little bit, but because I'm so restrictive, I end up overeating. Or if I look at the scale and it's not where I want it to be, I've worked really, really, really hard and I haven't lost any weight as far as the scale says, then I can throw up my hands up in the air and say, whatever, why am I working so hard? Punish myself so much. And then I just go and eat. Because I haven't been, and it's what would make me happy at the time is what I'm telling myself. And then I don't feel happy, obviously.
Yeah. Do you think that you'll feel happy when you lose those 10 pounds?
I think I have other things to work on to make myself feel happy. I think I need to learn how to love myself no matter what. I mean, I feel very disconnected from that. And so I think there's a lot that needs to be done more than just losing the weight. But I do think it would it would make me reach that goal, which would make me feel a little bit more confident and comfortable in my clothes. But I think it's more than just the weight.
Honestly. What does that goal represent to you?
You know, for some reason, I realized listening to you that I am a perfectionist, and I never knew that. And I just have this, I want it all. I want to be the young, fit, good looking mom for my husband, and for myself. I want to be able to do all the activities. I like to run and bike, and I love hiking. I want to be able to do it all. I'm into crafting and sewing, and I love spending time with my family. I just want to do it all. And for some reason, I feel like if I lose that weight, I'll be more confident and I'll feel more relaxed and I'll be able to go do it all and be it all. Because I have the other things. I have this great family. I have joy when I'm with them. I do volunteer. I do get to hike and do all these things I want to do. But I feel like the one thing that's missing of my perfect, my picture of what I should be to be where I want to be is thin. And because I really do want to feel comfortable in my clothes, and I would like to feel sexy,
And so what's stopping you from doing that now, from owning those pieces of yourself now? Because you just said you have them all. So who do you believe you need to be in order to be happy?
I don't know. I guess just a better version is skinnier, that looks better in the clothes, because I know I'm my own worst critic. So my husband looks at me and he says, "You look beautiful." And I don't believe it. I hear it, I accept his compliment because that's what you're supposed to do, but I don't truly believe it. I'm like, yeah, I know, but did you see this part? Did you see that part? And there's no way I'm wearing. He's like, "I love your legs. Show your legs and your arms." No way. I'm not showing my legs. I'm not showing my arms. They jiggle or whatever, and I just feel like I have this really high expectation for myself that I've built somehow that I'll never be able to reach. And I'm realizing this last month or so, that I'm just never going to be able to reach that. And so,
well, that's the trick with perfectionism, right? So anybody that's sitting here going like, yes, like who can relate with Kimberly right now and this perfection, this idea that you need to be perfect? Karen saying, yep, right? Anybody else here? That Connie? Yeah, this concept of totally, Kathy, Debbie, thumbs up. So this concept of perfection, you're not alone. And guys, I want everybody to hear this. And Kimberly, I really need you to take this on. Perfection is an illusion. You didn't even know when I said, what do you need to be happy? You actually deflected the answer.
Oh, sorry.
No, you wouldn't know it. You deflected the answer and just went to, well, like when I lose the 10 pounds, but you actually didn't speak at all to being happy. You went straight to the physical image. Guys, we're not our weight. And listen, I'll be the first person to say vanity. I get it. Listen, I like to look good. I want to look good naked. I like all of it. We all do. And so I just really want you guys to hear this. So let's keep going here. So Kimberly, who in your life, and tell me, made you feel less than around your weight? Because there's a protection that you created around this. It's a separate identity. There's Kimberly who's perfect, Kimberly who needs to be everything to everyone, and Kimberly who needs to look a certain part in order to be loved and accepted, seeking approval through your body and your weight outside of the actual person that you are. And that's translated for you into adulthood.
I think it was my dad. I love my dad. He did the best he could raising two girls.
Parents are always doing the best. This is not a blame.
Yeah. But he said some things when I was when I gained weight, some harsh things. In his mind, it was trying to motivate me to do something about it. That was his way of trying to get me motivated, was to say, you're fat. When, don't wear that. It makes you look fat. Or I don't know. I mean, there was just lots of things he would say. And I've also been rejected by boys that I liked in high school because of that. And I was teased for my weight. There was a song I can still remember that it's just, so it's kind of a combination of things.
Yeah. So the voice that you hear that's saying that you're not enough, that's not your voice. It's a combination of all of those, but a lot of it is your father. And hearing that and the need for your own love, because you guys have heard me talk about this. We are a little girl inside just wanting to be loved. Right? And that little girl actually felt rejected by her father because of her weight. So what happened for you, and what I'm hearing, and you tell me if it's correct, but what I'm getting from this and what I'm feeling is, and hearing, is that the love that you seek is the love from your father and from yourself. But at that time that you were a child, forgiveness needs to come, love, because she did the best that she could. And what she did was she sought out food for solace and for love and for comfort. Because when you're that young, it's hard to come back and go, Dad, don't talk to me that way, or that hurt.
Yeah.
Or I'm good enough as I am, and I need you to tell me that. We don't have the words and the understanding. We just know that what we're hearing is hurting our heart. And so with that, our heart starts to hurt. And this little space grows. And we start to fill it. That's why it's called heart hunger. We start to fill it with food. And for those times when we're young, this is when food serves a purpose. Now, you might not like it now, but it was there for you when you didn't feel like you fit in, when you were moving, when you were separated from your mom. And so what you keep doing with dieting is you keep trying to break up, you've heard me say this before, with something that's been a synonymous part of your life that you rely on. So a very real piece of you wants to end that. And there's a very real piece of you that's petrified that if you let go, where and how are you going to take care of you? Where's your security blanket? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? Your identity is very much still tied to that. And that piece of you that doesn't like that has created, right? Like that's really what happens with the ego, is that other piece of us that gets created. And this is why I will often say to my clients, give it a different name. Give it a name so that you can talk to it out loud and say, like, I don't need you to show up today. To actually have that notion in your mind of a physical separation from it, instead of feeling like it's overtaking you, to where you can really just sit there and go, I know that you're here and that you need something, and what you're needing, I'm not giving you, which is love, time, affection. Because right now, what I've heard since we got on, Kimberly, is I want to be this weight for my husband. I want to feel better from a place of what on the outside of fitting into the picture of what you think you need. I want to be this for my kids. And none of it is really in connection with how is being free going to really serve you? from what's missing. Because what's missing, love, in your life is you. You've done a beautiful bang up job at creating a gorgeous life. The only thing is, you're not really present in it. Right? So you're there, obviously, for your children. But where are the pieces of you that light you up? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, there are a few things that that do, and it's nice because it's kind of a break from my own, like, mental barrage or whatever I'm doing. So I do have some things that I really, really enjoy doing that make me feel joyful, that are for me. But
how often are you doing those?
Well, one of them is hiking. It's really, can't do it in the winter as much. But I like to go cross-country skiing too. And so I've been trying to, I think I probably get out about once a month, maybe about once a month.
Yeah, so once a month doesn't foster a really, so what I'm talking about is a life every day, waking up to a life that has elements for you and things that bring you joy. Because right now you're waking up to a barrage of thoughts around how bad you are. And you can't believe you ate that. And oh my God, your body. And why can't you fit into this? And it's a constant beating down on yourself. And then you get up and you're able to remove some of the focus off you by focusing on your children, which brings you joy. Mm-hmm. But then it comes back to the constant focus on food. So there's an element where there's a lack of, you're not feeling in control and you're grasping at control. See, when we put constant focus on food and our weight, it's because we're not feeling in control of other areas and we're not feeling fulfilled in other areas. The more that we can fill you up with you and life every day, friends, meeting people, doing things that serve you, right? And that's one of the things that, I work with my clients on and in our groups about cultivating a lifestyle that serves you, because what you'll find is the more that you have that and community and people and things, the more you start to open your heart. Your heart is the reason you can't receive your husband right now in that way, is because it sounds like words, because you won't believe it because you don't love yourself to take that in, to be able to receive it, right? So when I always talk with you, and you guys have heard me say this, and we talk about having love in our lives, and I say dieting is more of a selfish act because we're not fully present. We're not receiving, we're not receptive to the love that's in front of us. And I know you're hyper aware of all of this. So you're so aware of it, and the pain is real. I mean, you started to cry, like you think about it and you're like, I probably would still be on diet pills. It's just they've gotten so expensive. So for you, what is it going to take for you to say, I've got to start doing things a different way?
I feel like I'm at that point.
Yeah.
Where I'm ready to just see, because obviously what I've been doing hasn't been working, and so I'm just ready to I'm just done with my way.
What would letting go, when you think about letting go of dieting, what fears come up for you?
That I'll overeat and gain weight.
Yeah.
That my 4-year-old.
She's so cute.
He's doing so good. He made it an hour. Um,
Oh,
sorry.
not at all.
Campbell, I'll be right there. Go eat your lunch. I'll be right there. Okay. Okay. Um, can you please ask me that question again? I got totally sidetracked.
So, what are your fears around letting go?
Okay. Um, I think just that I will gain, overeat, and then once again, just be negative with myself. Talk, I just, or binge eat, or I don't know, gain all the weight back that I've supposedly kept
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
So, I know you have to go, but a few things that I want you to do is, um, can you tell me when did the binging start?
It started 2 years ago when I really started restricting myself more.
Yeah, which is usually what happens. It's so just so you guys know, everybody here and anybody that struggles with binging, generally what happens is we start to exhaust the mind of dieting and it really doesn't want to do it anymore. So then we start going to more and more, like, how do I say this? We go to places that are more and more severe, like binging, to gain control and to also just kind of sit there and go, this isn't working, let me punish you some more. It's really under that guise that happens. So Kimberly, what I just want to ask you in closing is what really resonated with you today? And then I want to give you a few things to do.
Um, I think there was so much. I was gonna take notes when I got done because I think for sure,
Yeah.
for sure, the more that I can fill, do things that serve me, the
Yeah.
more I can show my love to my family, to my husband, and accept the love in return. And the fact that I didn't realize I was going to cry today. The fact that I just didn't realize how emotional it was for me. I mean, I feel like I'm a strong woman and then I power through a lot of things, but I just didn't realize how emotional I was about this. But
Yeah, but see, Kimberly, so I want you to really see, so you're judging yourself, and please don't. Um, you're strong, girl. This is the thing with women, guys. We don't need to put up this front. That's one of the most beautiful things about this community and that I love about Weight Loss for Life and with my clients. We're not meant to hold this in and be in isolation with it. And what the crying tells me is there's real shame and guilt that you've had around having this struggle because as a perfectionist, you put up this facade of, I'm so good, everything's good. No, we're happy. I'm really happy and I've got the perfect life and everything's great. And meanwhile, inside, you're like, if everybody only knew that my dirty little secret, if everybody just knew that I've been struggling with this and that I take these diet pills. There's a lot there that needs to be released, and tears are healing. They need to be felt. That's why water is coming out of our eye sockets because it has nowhere else to go, right? So I would love to pop through and just hug you and hold you and let you cry for hours because I get that you actually, that's your little girl. You know, your 4-year-old that was just knocking?
Yeah.
You have one of those inside and she has not felt heard or seen or loved. And it's not because you're a bad person. And it's not, she was shut down at that young age, right?
Yeah.
And started to separate and feel wrong. Like when you start to go and you start to want to beat yourself up, think of your daughter in front of you and think about the words that you're about to say to yourself and go, oh my God, would I ever say this to my child and expect her to thrive? So guys, when we say those words to ourselves, of course we want to eat. We're basically saying, why even try at life? You're only going to fail. So a few things that I want you to do, and I'd love for you to share this in the Done with Dieting group is, you know, what are some things that you can do on a day-to-day to light you up? There does not need to cost money, and it doesn't need to be a big thing. I have clients that just go, it just felt so good to go on a walk. I say just do 2-minute meditation. Close your eyes and start breathing. Get the app, the Insight Timer, and put it on and set a timer for 2 minutes. 5 minutes, do something to fill you up and bring you back, because you're driving. I tell people, you can't shift and change from your consciousness at this moment. It's not possible, because you're only driving from where you're at right now, and you don't know another way, which is why guides and coaches are so important. You need to learn from somebody that's been there and take you there, right? So I say this to you because I really want you to get there. There's nothing wrong with you. And you showing up here today shows how ready you are for change. But I want to encourage you to please not go at this alone. You do this, I'm Superwoman, I've got it all, I can do it all. Look, I just had 3 kids in 4 years, which is incredible, by the way. And I'm all things, and I've done this and I've done that. And I get that you're very much like, my weight is the one thing that I can't seem to get control of. And I don't understand, because I'm so good in all these other areas. I met my husband, I've got this life, and I can't seem to just be happy. And what's wrong with me? We have to shift you away from being your enemy and seeking out food to punish you. So I also want you to make a list of the foods that you use to sabotage you, because they're synonymous with the way that you ate as a child to comfort you, which is why you're not giving them up. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Donuts is definitely on there.
Well, your donuts also make you feel loved by your father. Your father got you donuts. He cared for you. That is your feeling of your father's love that you didn't otherwise feel. So when you want to feel that from him, when you're desperate for love, is your go-to donuts?
Sometimes, but yeah, sometimes. It can be lots of things, honestly.
Yeah.
I think that's the other thing that really spoke to me today, was the idea of that when he said those things to me, that because I know my dad, and I know he loves me, right?
Of course.
But when he says those things, it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah.
And so the idea that I've built this protection around myself, it's just, that to me was just kind of a little bit of it was a big insight into why I've maybe been doing what I've been doing.
Well, guys, our minds are set up for survival, so they only want to keep you safe. So your mind is going to go, how can we keep her safe? What work? Food makes us feel okay, because you're young. You're not like, let me go booze it up, you know? You're like, oh, what, okay, well, dad always gave us this food. And, you know, when we start to learn that, so we use those foods for protection. Okay. I really, really, really want you to hear that and recognize that you are not at fault. You are not to blame. And the last piece of homework that I'm going to give you, and anybody else that's in that perfectionist space, who is she? Who is this version that you think you need to be? How long is the laundry list? How long is your laundry list each day that you check off that says that you're a good person today, that you did a good job? Because I guarantee that each day that laundry list is this long. Can't even put it on this video. And you're always saying that you're never reaching it, which means at the end of every day, you feel behind the 8 ball and less than, and you're waking up feeling less than because you didn't do yesterday's list. We have to learn how to set ourselves up for success, which is what we do, right, in Weight Loss for Life, and what we do in any of our programs. And what I really want you guys to get, you have to be in that space with yourself. So important. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So I want you to go take care of your daughter. I want to thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. I really appreciate all the posts that you put on and the videos that I'm able. This is the first time I've been able to do a live chat.
Oh.
And I've learned so much, and there's been so many beautiful gems that I've been able to ponder throughout this month. That's
Good.
probably kickstarted me realizing that I need to be done with what I've been doing. So thank you.
It will work. Well, thank you for being here. And I know I will say, listen, like, guys, I did this. And again, you know, I know I keep mentioning our programs, but like, I did this because I did this on my own. I figured out I was done, but it took me 10 years on my own. So if this is something that anybody is that you want to move forward and you don't want to be here anymore, I'm going to put a link for you to be able to apply and get a call. You can either apply for Weight Loss for Life before the doors close, because that's happening. And I only run this live one time a year. And if you want a coaching session, I'm going to put a link here as well. But I really want to encourage you, keep on this path. Please don't go back to diet pills. I did them for a really long time, and I have paid the price. Your body just cannot, it takes time to get your body back in terms of its health and your metabolism. And there's a lot that I know about that, and I can support you, but just get off of them, because please, just don't go back. Okay. I know it might seem enticing, and there's going to be times, and that's why I encourage you, be in community. Do not stay in isolation with this out of shame or guilt. That's why I created Done with Dieting. That's why I have our Weight Loss for Life program. So you can be around women just like you that are like, I totally get it, and they're doing something about it. Okay. All right? Okay. Thank you so much, girl.
Thank you.
You got it. Bye. All right. All right, guys. Ooh. So who found that helpful? Oh, Kimberly, I'm sorry. I will mute you, girl. Who found this helpful? Good. Elisa, I found it helpful. Great stuff, Dawn. Perfect. Val, Lynn. Okay, awesome. So guys, I want to know, what questions do you have for me? Post them here and just give me 1 second, and I am going to, Edwina, everybody's saying yes, thanks a lot. To connect, yes, thanks, lots to connect with. Yeah, how to get clear, okay. Dawn, can you be a bit more specific? What do you mean by how to get clear? So I can reply to you. Here is a link, by the way, guys. This is for you, anybody here that's not a current client that is looking for support and a coaching session. So I want you to see that. Okay, so I'm going to answer a few of these questions. Jana, I'm really worried I'm not going to have time. Okay, hold on. Okay, I want to bring her on. Okay, how to start letting go of comfort food from childhood. Elisa, this is a really, really great question. So here's the thing. We let go of comfort foods. So this is going to be a bit of an overview. We let go of comfort foods from childhood by understanding the purpose that they serve. So you just saw what I did, right? Was Kimberly and I went back, and let's use donuts. Donuts represent her father. Donuts give her a sense of comfort and love. Generally, the donut or things of a baked good, she's going to desire when she's wanting love for herself, when she's feeling completely spent and depleted after a day of taking care of her kids, after a day of being everything to everybody. She's going to want those things. And that power of that desire for those foods is going to call on her more deeply than her desire to want to be done with dieting and to lose the weight. And that's going to be with you too. So what you want to start to do is say, okay, what is the emotion? What is it that I really want to feel? What is it? This food. So notice in the moment, you guys want to have a food journal on you. Notice in the moment and ask yourself, why am I getting up right now? Right? Why am I getting up right now? Like one of my clients in our group was saying, you know, I just want to get up and have candy. I'm working all day and there's candy everywhere and it's amazing. And I just keep getting up and I'm procrastinating. I'm fully aware I'm procrastinating and it's stress eating. Great. What did she want to feel in that moment? An escape. So what did she need to feel? She needed to feel that she had a way out, right? Like she needed a break. She needed to have something. So what is it that you want to feel? So you want to go back to that and ask yourself, what is it that you want to feel in that moment? Because that's what your inner child is needing. Your inner child is you. It's just a piece of you that you've shut down. And as you've gotten older, it's been really easy to shut her down because you gain, see guys, as adults, we just keep getting more. Here we are as kids. As kids, we're like, I'm free. I play all day, right? I have no responsibilities. People take care of me and I just laugh. Good, right? Well, as adults, we're like, oh, I have a problem, but I don't have time to handle it because I've got this responsibility. But here's the problem arising again. But wait, and it's going, listen to me. We've got to deal with this. And you're going, I don't have time because I've got this to do, right? And we keep going like that. And it gets shoved down lower and lower and lower. And all of a sudden we're petrified. Do you know how many people tell me they know they're supposed to do my program and they're afraid because they're afraid of what they're going to find? They tell me they don't have time to break down or they don't really want to feel. So guys, we're human beings. We can't not feel. But how long can you numb out with food? I mean, it stops working. After a while, do you know how medications, right? You start off with a small dose, but if you take it every day, all of a sudden you start off needing a pill a day. Then you need 2 pills a day. Then you need 3 pills a day. And if you keep at it, you could be taking up to 30 pills or more a day just to get the same effect of the 1 pill. Well, you guys have been doing that same thing with food. At first, you needed 1 serving of food. And then you noticed that in order to really keep the feelings down, you needed 2 servings. But then that stopped being enough and your stomach stretched, and then you needed 3 servings. And you got bigger and gained more weight, and then you needed 4 servings. And then in order to get your stomach to shrink again, you had to deprive yourself so your stomach could shrink. But then you still need the 4 servings in order to feel full. And then you start to just not want to feel at all. And you just want to numb out. So then you make yourself so full that you actually feel sick. So then you can put your focus and attention on beating yourself down because you feel so full that you actually stop thinking about the thing that was actually bothering you that's completely below the surface. That's what's happened. So in order, Elisa, to, wait, I want to go back here. In order to release your comfort foods from childhood, we have to start giving ourselves the thing that we want to feel. And we give ourselves the thing that we want to feel, not with food. But what you're really wanting, if it's coming from childhood, is connection, love, comfort, security, right? Approval, acceptance. How can you start to give that to yourself? It's not about outsourcing, guys, to anybody anymore. You can't look to your partner to fill your gaps. Where there's lack, you will fill your gaps with food. You can't look to your partner. You can't look to, oh, your friends, or, oh my God, it's all my parents' fault. Blame, 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 right? Victim. I'm a victim of my life. Woe is me, my life is hard. Yeah, we've all had things. And I'm not being insensitive to anybody that's come from trauma. I had trauma. I'm not being anything. But what I will say to you is it is important for you to recognize that it's time to let the past go. Who do you want to be? From this point forward, that is my invitation to you. That is why I keep pushing Weight Loss for Life. Who do you want to be? Because the time is now to be her. Because another year is going to pass. That's what I want you to see, Elisa. That's what I really want you to notice. So think back to what you want to feel in childhood and how can you give that to you? What would that look like? What would that feel like? You have the answers. Post below, all right? And let me know, or put them in the Done with Dieting group. Dawn, what do I want? What do I want? That kind of clarity. Okay, wait, Dawn, I hate to say this, love. Kind of clarity around, give me more specifics. So in terms of your clarity, you want more clarity around what your struggle is. You want more clarity around how to get to your goal. You want more clarity around how you're feeling. Just talk to me, love, because I am so here for you. All right, Sarah, I feel like I can't have what I want, so I eat dessert. That's the thing that I can have. Okay, great. Wonderful awareness. So now, Dawn, is that the kind of awareness you want, clarity? So Sarah, I feel like I can't have what I want, so I eat dessert. What is it that you want? And why do you feel like you can't have it? I mean, that's what we really need to game plan on. So guys, we can all have what we want. Now listen, if you want somebody else's husband, I'm going to advise against that. If there's other things of that nature, but yeah, I mean, it's the allowance. So I can tell you, Sarah, much like you, I used to eat because I didn't believe that I was enough to go after my dreams. I also didn't believe that I was enough to have the love that I wanted in my life. Okay. So anybody that's looking for their soulmate, that was my big struggle. And it's not now, but that it was. And it was because I had to learn to love myself and be the partner that I wanted to call in. And that partner that I wanted to call in, I wanted this man that would love me unconditionally, but I didn't love me unconditionally, right? I wanted this man that would, wait, where did Jana go? Jana, are you still here? So I don't see you anymore. If you are, please. Okay, wait, Jana, did you just leave, love? Okay, sorry. She had asked for coaching and I wanted to make sure to get to her. Okay, so I'm sorry, Sarah, let me come back to you. So, I mean, I'm coming back to you right now. So what I was saying, okay, there's Jana, got it. I feel like I can't have what I want. So I really want you to get clear on what is it that you want, and believing that if you want it, so really hear this, and this is for everybody. Guys, if you want something, if you have a desire for something, it is meant for you. It is there for you. You have a desire for it. You have a dream for it because it's meant for you. I really, really want you to hear that. Elisa, you want to feel supported? Great. So love, how can you feel supported? What would that look like? How can you give yourself the support and ask for support in your life that you're not asking for? Because what I'm getting from you is that you're not using your voice. All right. Okay, so Dawn, I want to work with you on this, and I know you're in Weight Loss for Life, so we can really dive deeper. See how vague I am on my goal. I guess more clarity on where to go and where to focus my attention. Well, we're going to be doing that in the program. So I hate to keep asking this, and I don't. So primarily, I want you to do what we started doing in the program. I want you to just take it one day at a time. So you are fully in the program, meaning in Weight Loss for Life, you will be taken on a step-by-step guide. What I need you to do is trust and be in a place of, I just need to do what was asked of me, and recognize that the results are going to come from that. So I want to ask you, did you do this first week of what we were doing in the program? That's the main thing, because your goal, just break it down. So if we're looking at your goal and how to have more clarity with your goal, it's how do you want to feel? So looking at what do you want at the end of the next 3 months? Because we break it down in those chunks. What do you want at the end of those 3 months? How do you want to feel in 3 months' time? What would be a goal weight? What would be how you want to feel around food? What do you want your life to look like and your relationship to your body and to food? Those would be the questions that I want you to think about and then post in the Weight Loss for Life group. And I will be in there right after this to support all of you guys. But yeah, that's what I really want you to do. So you're not alone, and also use your private coaching session, to really gain any other clarity that you might be missing. But I want you to really look at and break it down into 3 months. Where would you want to be in 6 months? And where do you want to be in 9 months? And recognize, because we want to, again, when we're looking at the mountain, it can seem too big. 1 foot in front of the other. And that's where you'll find your clarity. And if that even feels like too much, just go, how do I want to wake up and feel in my body? Do I want my focus to be energy? Do I want to love me? And is that an absence? Like, is that something that the next 90 days, I want to feel an immense connection to myself and really feel in love with who I am and trusting myself and my body in this process? I mean, those are real. I promise you, Dawn, and this is what everyone in Weight Loss for Life always says. They go, at the end of the program, they always go, oh my God, I'm so in love. I can't even tell you. This happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. And then I go, and tell me and about the weight. And they're like, oh yeah, and I lost all the weight too. And they always say the weight loss was just a byproduct, because it comes in as the prime focus. But at the end of the program, and even as the program progresses, what you end up feeling and experiencing is priceless. You can't even, you never even imagined it possible, and you can't put a price tag on it, because people always tell me I spent 10 years in therapy to have what happened to me in the first, just in talking to you, having our sessions, and in the first month of the program. So I just want you to know that and trust in that. You're doing it, girl. You are doing it. You're here. I was just with you on last night. We were almost together for 2 hours on our, on one of our calls. You have the videos. You're going to do it. I have full faith in you. Don't doubt, and just breathe and process. And you're just in the beginning. We literally just started 2 days ago. Right? So just know that, and deep, deep love for you. And you are not alone. And I'm here with you every step of the way. Right? And you've got our coach there, right there with you as well. Okay. So who's still with me and is wanting more questions answered? Because I also recognize it's a Friday. And if we need to go to next week, and Jana, can you let me know if you would be able to come on next week? Kimberly, you're here. Oh, you're still here, girl. Look at you. All right, anybody else? Let me know, because I will keep going. Linda, girl, you are so good. I'm still here in Paris. Jana, same time. We can do same time next week on, can you guys do Thursday next week? Do you like how I'm making this a standing appointment? Or I can take you right now. No foods. I just see that there's so many questions. If no foods are off limits, how do you not overindulge? Thursday would be better. Okay. So Jana, I'm going to bring you on live next Thursday. And so I will continue to answer questions Thursday, we're also going to, I will be doing this again. I'm going to keep staying on for the next 20 minutes until 2 o'clock. You guys stay on, whoever can be here. If no foods are off limits, how do you, wait, hold on. I want to make sure I didn't. Elisa, thank you so much. It touches me a lot. Good. That makes me so happy, and I would love to hear more. Guys, everybody post in the Done with Dieting group just what you were thinking. Judith, I'm so glad you're here. I hope you guys are finding this helpful. Who's finding this helpful? Neri, hi, Melissa. Hi, girl. Yes, good. Okay, I'm still here, but I have to go. Lisa, I get it. Didn't hear answers to my questions. Okay, guys, I have to leave, but I would love to tune in next week. Okay, tune in next week. Anybody's questions that I didn't get, I will get to next week or bring them next week because I fear that there's quite a bit that I'm missing. I'm going to answer Val's because I just already started it. If no foods are off limits, how do you not overindulge? So this is a good question, and it's a little tricky, not going to lie, because I'm going to tell you, and you might overindulge at first. You will, actually. More times than not, I would say most do. I know I did. I went straight. I was like, I got to a point where, so funny. And you want to know what, though? It's like the coolest thing because I've never, ever, ever wanted to binge again, ever. So I got to a point where I was so disgusted with myself. And I believe I've shared with you about this. I had many down, like real rock bottom. You know when people talk about those rock bottom moments? I had quite a few. And what you just saw with Kimberly and that shame and that guilt, you know, that feels awful, especially when you're a mother and you have a daughter, right? Like Kimberly, I mean, so I don't have a daughter. I don't have children yet, but the perfectionist in me hated that I binged. Oh, I was such a wretched person for binging. And I woke up like it was just this awful voice that I would hear. I mean, it brings me tears the way I spoke to myself. I would make myself so wrong that I don't even know how I made it outside of my home in New York City because I felt like the scum of the earth for the way that I just ate. You know, like you would have thought that I sat and was some I don't even know. I mean, I felt like a wretched human being. And so, like, I know you guys know what I'm talking about. So if you know what I'm talking about, let me know. And I woke up and my apartment looked like a scary person came in. It looked like, I can laugh about it and make a joke and say like it looked like Guns N' Roses partied there, but it looked like I had all these people over to eat with me, and it was just me. And after I had just done like a 2-hour workout and told myself I wasn't going to do blah, blah, blah. And I remember I wanted to go out that night, and I was just kind of feeling so lonely and bored, and none of my friends wanted to go out. And I made my whole night about eating. But I was on autopilot. It's like the food was just being shoved in. And so I'm going somewhere with this one, guys, promise. I woke up in the morning and I fell to my knees, and I remember at the time I had found the book 21 Spiritual Lessons to Weight Loss by Marianne Williamson. And I hadn't read it, but it was there. And that was when I opened it up, and I just fell to my knees, and I was like, I need an answer to this because something is so not right. And I'm so sick of hating me. And I looked at myself in the mirror, and I didn't look like me. I looked ugly. Like I looked like my face looked dark, and it's like I saw my inner perfectionist in the mirror. And she was just, I'm getting wrapped up in the emotion of it inside my body. That's why it's hard for me to come out, because I can feel it like it was yesterday. And it actually, I feel like pain for her. And it was a turning point, and I said, I just cannot do this anymore. I don't know. And it was in that surrender, guys, and surrender is a really powerful thing that all of you that are going, I really want to be done with dieting. My invitation to you is to surrender. It's not going to feel easy. It's going to be one of the most uncomfortable things that you've ever done. I almost think that it's that point of rock bottom that makes surrender easier, because it's a true surrender, because you're like, I relinquish all control, because I can't live this way. Like, I won't, I can't, or there's no point. Like, I'm not living. I'm actually like, I don't live in a third world country. I was saying this to a new client that joined Weight Loss for Life. And we were talking about it. And I just said, I got to a point where I said, I help young girls in Uganda with Just Like My Child Foundation. And they think it's normal to be raped by age 12. They are literally bred to fetch water. And they are molested daily, touched inappropriately all the time. They don't know any other way. And I'm sitting there and I know these things, awful things happen for other people. And I'm in this wretched place with food, right? And it's not to diminish this. So there's an answer to these questions, but it gave me a context. And I sat there and I just said, I'm making this gorgeous life that I have a miserable one. And I turn it over. And at this time I was not religious. This is before, I was raised Catholic, all girls private Catholic school, but I turned my back. Because I had this calling, I could go into this another time, but I had this calling that just seemed very big and scary to me and overwhelming. And I just said, I don't want that. Like, that's too much. And I turned my back unknowingly that I was really doing that, but I really saw that. And anyway, so this was when I actually found A Course in Miracles and came back to faith. But the point in sharing this is I had to surrender. And in that surrender, I said, if it takes me eating whatever it is, but I have to take diet rules off the table. If I'm going to be done with dieting, I have to recognize what are my rules. How many dieting rules do I have? Because these rules are making me crazy. And they're stealing all joy in my life. And I have a beautiful life with everything going for me. Everything. And the only thing standing in my way is me. Who here can relate to that? The only thing standing in the way is you. And I just said, I throw my hands up. Now, I had to do this a few times, but this was the time that and I just said, F all the rules. I have chills all over. Yes, my guys. So I just said, I relinquish all rules. And I had no idea how many I had, but God, when I say I still have the point system in my head, I still am like, would you just take Weight Watchers out of my life? Because I can still look at foods and it will automatically be like 8 points salmon. And I'm like, oh my God. It's just like one of those, like our minds are so equipped. And I sat there and I had to surrender. And what I did was I was like, all right, so no food rules. And it was uncomfortable. Like I started going out to eat and I had this thing with clean eating, I was like, I'm such a clean eater. So it was a surprise to my friends when I went out to eat and I said, Melissa, you can eat whatever you want on the menu. And I was like, I'm going to have fettuccine Alfredo, and they were like, what? I'm making something up. I think I actually went and got pizza because I never let myself have pizza. And I started, stopping getting things. But what I really did was I was like, well, I can have anything. And I kind of went through New York and I did 2 to 3 days of eating. It was all around food. And food in New York is good. You really can't find bad food. I don't care if it's a street vendor or an all-you-can-eat buffet, or if it's a 4-star restaurant. It's really hard to not find amazing food. And it was all great. But the thing is, I stopped feeling good. And then I started going I really miss my salad and I want this. So, you'll go and there was a hand-dipped donut shop near me. There was everything. Cronuts, a cross between a croissant and a donut. Yeah. I mean, there were so many things, but what you'll find is you give yourself the permission and then it becomes your choice. I just talked about this in Weight Loss for Life. Then it becomes your choice. Well, when you have a choice, you're no longer the victim. See, when we're a victim, woe is me, I can't have this, I can't have that, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm going to have it anyway, and we rebel. But when it's your choice and you're going, oh, wait, I can have all the pizza I want, and oh, really? Do I want pizza? I actually don't want the pizza. I think I'm just going to have, and then you end up ordering, a turkey sandwich or, I mean, it doesn't, but it's interesting because you decide you don't want it anymore. So I get that this was a long-winded answer, but I really wanted to take you through the process because it can't just be you saying, well, everything's off the table. Am I fixed? Like I can have whatever I want. So I'm going to have whatever I want. Like you might overindulge. You have to be okay with that because the bottom line is you've overindulged already for months and years. You just haven't done it all at one time. So you seem to think in your dieting mind that it's okay because you were good Monday through Friday, but then you binged on Saturday and Sunday, but then you started over on Monday. It doesn't matter. The caloric intake ends up being the same anyway. It's just you jammed it into one day. So give yourself, just say, I'm going to allow myself to have what I want. And you know what? Nothing can be worse than the hell that I've been living, being stuck in this body and being in a dieter's prison. Nothing can be worse. You've already been living in your own hell, right? I mean, honestly, that's really what it is. Kimberly, when she was talking earlier and she's not being present, her family, when I talk to people and I say, in a given day, if your life's a pie, from the time that you wake up till the time you go to bed, what percentage would you say you've spent thinking about food, shaming yourself, being in food guilt, or obsessing over your body or counting your calories? The majority of the women that I talk to and myself at one point in time would be basically anywhere from 70 to 90%, which means 10% of your life is being lived. That's pretty crappy, right? Like that's like not, and not only that, that means everybody in your life is getting 10% of your attention, right? So when that hurts, right? Like that one hurt me. Like when I really saw that and felt that at holidays, with family, that I was constantly just measuring myself and my weight, and I had to get my workout in, even though my whole family was hanging out together. I'm not saying not to be healthy and fit and take care of you, but there's ways, and it wasn't, I insisted I had to work out because it was about my weight. It wasn't like, oh, I just need to work out because it was like, because if it was that, then I would be like, hey fam, let's go on a walk. But I was like, no, I need to burn my 500 calories before. That's a dieter. There's a difference. Do you guys get the difference? Am I making sense? Yes? Yeah. Oh, Val, I'm so glad that spoke to you. I'm so glad. Yeah. So I really hope that all of this is really helpful and making sense. So what you're going to see, we will send out a replay. I'm going to put the link in here again. Anybody that wants a coaching call, go here. And there's going to be open spots yes, you got it, girl. If I didn't answer your questions, guys, please bring them next week. I don't want to make this so long because I want you guys to have the replay, and I know it gets a little daunting, right? To have to listen to 2 full hours. I know it's better with bite size. So Jana, you and I, girl, I so apologize about today. But I'm so grateful that you were here and we're able to benefit, and I look forward to us being live next week. Everybody else that was here, I just want to thank you so much for your time. I want to thank you for showing up for you and making you a priority. I'm honored and truly touched to have you as a part of this community. And to my clients, you guys are freaking rock stars. Like, you're like going for the gold. And so I just want to thank you so much. I really hope that you found this helpful. I'm really devoted to you all and to your happiness and to thriving in life and to truly being free and done. And I am no different than you. And you guys are the best. And Dawn, this is what's ahead of you, girl. And everybody that's in Weight Loss for Life. Yes, I'm in it for me. Yes, you are, Linda. Kimberly, yes. So I look forward. Next Thursday, I will run another one of these live. It will be streaming in the Done with Dieting group. If you want to get the replay and make sure that you do not miss it and get all the reminders, we will create a link for you to register. If you have a question and want to receive live coaching from me, please go and find me on Facebook and just PM me and send it there and let me know. And I'm just looking forward to supporting you. Also, those of you that are ready for real change, I'm talking no more going at it alone, and you're wanting my support along with the Weight Loss for Life coaches and being in a true sisterhood and community, not the I love the Done with Dieting group, but this is a Weight Loss for Life program is, this is a high-level program where we are truly about transformation. You might think 9 months is a long time. It is not 9 months to get the weight off. But if you want to truly get the weight off and keep it off, that is a lasting weight loss solution. It's true transformation from the inside out. When you want to change, you want to love you want to be able to receive the love from everybody in your life, and you want to start living your most beautiful life in a body that you love, my invitation to you is Weight Loss for Life. And I'm putting the application in here now. And to apply is completely free. So I really want to tell you that. And, it is an application process. So we don't accept everybody. And I don't say that to scare anybody, but I really want you to be serious. If it's something that you're wanting and you're ready for the change, then that is what I would tell you to do. And if you want to learn more about Weight Loss for Life, simply go to melissacatherine.com/weight loss for life. You can watch all the video testimonials, read the testimonials, see any live Q&A on the program, and just to learn more about it. So I'm going to post the application here. I want to thank you all tremendously for being here. Kimberly, thank you again for being so gracious, so open, so honest, and vulnerable with yourself. It helped so many today. You're such an inspiration. And to all of you, just thank you so much. I love you all very, very much. Bye, and have a wonderful weekend. And if this was helpful, share in the group, please. Okay. And let me get that. Ooh. Edwina, you got it, girl. And there is the application. And I love you all. Have an amazing, amazing, amazing weekend. Bye, guys.